These walls can talk. Open your mind and listen.
Trailing down these hollow halls, can you hear me? Staring down these storied walls, can you see me?
Well, hello everybody out there. I think I got the technical thing going. We had a bit of a scare there. For some reason I clicked on the wrong button and it was telling me I had to put encoding software onto this thing here. I realized that after a few weeks I had forgotten that all I had to do was click one button instead of the other, and we just made a whole shitload of mistakes at once. And I thought, well, there goes that. Alright, so we're here. As you can see, Sydney's in the background tonight. She's way back there. Instead of us sitting together, I'm not sure. This may be the way we're going to keep it going. I have no idea. We can all see each other. I can see. We're still trying to get used to the camera. Yeah. If you hear the fan in the background, well, it's because it's 116,000 degrees in this room. It may only be 18 outside, but unfortunately, in the top part of this damn townhouse, there's got to be like some liquid heat wires in the wall or something that they hate us. Or maybe the place is haunted and it's a very hot ghost. So the drape slash blanket on the window up here, I know it's trashy. I just couldn't be bothered to go out and get for years,
get a real
curtain to put up there. I just need that as a blackout. So that up there is floating around. It is not paranormal. There's no spirit near Sydney's head, and we're gonna live. We're gonna live. You know what? I've got some technical stuff to show tonight. I hope it works, because I uploaded it all myself. There was no help. Damon didn't help, and Sandy didn't help. Well, Sandy did help a little bit to make sure, because I think I screwed it all up, and she came up with, you did it right. So I was pretty impressed with myself this week. You know, and you get close to 50 and you realize, wow, I'm just like my parents, who didn't know a damn thing, and I can hardly operate a cell phone. I managed to upload this stuff for myself.
Wow.
Thank you.
So impressed.
I'm pretty impressed with myself. So we got some things to talk about tonight. You know, later on, when after I talk about our recent news, with supportive pictures. It's going to look so great. It's going to be just like CFTO. You know, we're going to talk about Paranormal Unity versus Paranormal Snobbery. And we're going to get into gear, and we're going to get into teams' methodologies. And these are all going to kind of loop into each other, right? Because you know, the topic's going to bounce back and forth, but really often the way you do your investigation and the gear that you use really it spikes off on other teams. You know, sometimes you'll have a certain piece of gear and another team will get snobby about it and not wanting to do with you. I mean, there are teams out there that obviously you should have nothing to do with, but you know what, there are teams that we know quite well and we work with that I don't agree with 70% of what they do. Maybe because I just don't do it, right? You know what I mean? We all have our way of doing things. So, first things first, just to say, we just got back. Is that camera sitting right? I'm getting like a real glint in my glasses.
I'm sorry.
Is it annoying you?
No, I'm fine.
It's really annoying shit to me. All right, so we had just gotten back from Mansfield, the Ohio State Reformatory. We did a collaborative investigation with IPI from Arkansas, or Arkansas, as I like to say to them. They get really upset with that. And with CHAPS, the Correctional Officers Paranormal Society. This is about our 15th investigation with CHAPS. They're a great bunch of guys. We get along really well with them. I'll just show you a quick little picture just to see if I know how to do this properly. So I'm going to put this. Oh, look, see, I'm up there. Oh, damn it! No, I don't want to show you that picture yet. Jeez, I'm already stood up there. That was nothing. That was nothing. Okay, there it is. So this is the Mansfield Institution. You know what? It's pretty cool. It's like an overhead shot. It looks more like a drawing to me. But that's it. That's what it is. That's a cool little spot. Got to admit, not quite as exciting as I thought it was going to be. It was really great getting all the teams together. That was neat hanging out.
Yeah.
But you know, like we've done a few prisons, and I got to be honest with you, like
didn't have a prison feel.
No, man, it was dirty
Well,
and all kinds of
physically,
lead falling off the wall.
prison feel.
Physically, it looked like a prison.
Yeah.
I think Moundsville really did it for me. I think, unfortunately, after we did the West Virginia State Penitentiary, I can't see another prison living up to that. No, because we've gone down there
Search for it.
a couple times, and both times we've been there, it was bloody amazing. This place was good. It was interesting to look at. There was a whole lot of stairs.
Too many
Oh my
stairs.
God, there were so many stairs. You know, and they were great to us.
Oh,
You know, and they got all kinds of neat stuff about Shawshank Redemption, which was the movie that was filmed there. But you know what? I think all in all, in the end, I think everybody shared the same experience. There was like maybe, I think there was one cell. What's the guy's name? Burkhart? Was it Burkhart? I'm going
I
to say
can't
it's
remember.
Burkhart. A guy had set himself on fire there. And this is documented. You know, you can read on it. And in that cell, we actually got thermal readings from our FLIR coming off the wire bedding. There's nothing there. And people were getting crackling in their audio. Like 3 out of 5 audios in that area got this odd crackling noise. And then later on in the night, we went back and we had set up a REM pod, which I will show you the gear a little later on. The REM pod, you know, you can hear us on the video that's being produced, or look at COPS video because we did their video ahead of time. And surely enough, that REM pod went off. Like we were down the ways a bit, you could hear us hollering, so we were fairly far down, and we're asking questions. And I think Wes, whose voice is louder than most horns, you know, yelled and bellowed down his, you know, did somebody get burned by a fire? And the thing went off. There's nothing electrical in there. We had done base reads. Is it proof? No. But was it at least get a little bit in here? Was it at least a little bit interesting? Yeah, I think so. I think so. It was kind of neat. That and the fact that we had it backed up with a little bit of thermal reads as well as some other stuff. So we haven't gone over the audio evidence yet, so who knows if maybe that'll get backed up too.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit bigger of a video, probably one of those hour-long videos. And Sandy's, you know, going away. At that, we went out and purchased some more editing software, so another $1 million spent on the system.
Tell them what happened to you when you went back too.
Oh yeah, and I went back up, and it's on video. It felt like I had a wet willy. So I'm standing there, and I'm the video cam guy at that point in time. That's really odd, because normally I'm the talker. And I felt like a wet finger get shoved in my ear. That was funky. You know, it was really weird. It's funny, because it was like an experience. You're like, hey, cool, right? So, good. Now, I'm going to show where we're headed. See, you've already seen that picture. This is one of a couple buildings down at the old CFB Picton. So in July, we're headed down here. This was an old Air Force base. Some people had died there. They had crashed and all that noise. And oh, who knows? And then in the years following, in the 80s, it turned into a respite hospital, mental hospital. So, you know, I think there's the typical trends that you expect to hear from a place like that. Oh, a nurse was raped. The doctor killed himself. He hung himself.
Yeah.
It's like every single hospital we go to, at least one doctor hung himself. So, you know, that could be interesting. But, you know, I could say that could be interesting. This will be our fifth time there.
Yeah, we've been there a few times.
The guys from COPS helped facilitate this quite a bit, and there have been other teams there a lot. But we're trying to make the best investigation. I've got a chum from work that's coming. He's absolutely terrified of ghosts.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fantastic. He's going to be our new little bait tool.
Send
You
him
know,
in first.
he's the big one that always says, you know, the brothers don't investigate. You know, he says Ghost Brothers on TV, which is a show I actually find very entertaining. I don't care about their investigative methods; they're just funny. You get a group of black guys out there, and everybody at my work. I got a couple brothers working with me, and they're all, this doesn't happen. We don't go near this stuff. This is very white. So okay, so he's going to come down, and we're going to have that kind of discussion. And well, I'm going to utilize my bait tool as much as I possibly can.
Oh, heck yes.
Absolutely. All right, so let's bring us back to a nice big full screen. Look how beautiful that is. Well, we're done.
All right, bye.
Bye. So, we've got 6 people out there right now. Any of you guys want to key in there and tell me where you're from, who you are? I'm assuming Sandy is watching from downstairs. I'm guessing Kat is watching from Pembroke. I don't know who else. So if you want to type in, even if you have a question, that'd be great. You have to excuse me, I'm having a hard time talking because I've got a Tums in my stomach. Well, it's actually in my stomach. It's going into my stomach, it's my mouth.
Your stomach's a little higher up than usual.
Oh, God. Okay, so going into Paranormal Unity and Paranormal Collaboration, and Paranormal Snobbery. This is a crazy topic that's been going on for a long time, as long as I've run a team. You know, we're going to be going into 15 years that I've had this team. And throughout the years, I've seen a lot of teams come and go. I know everybody's like, oh, there's no competition. There's enough room for everybody, for everything. This is true. There is, but there is competition. Teams have this weird thing. I don't know, it's funny. First time I really saw it, years ago, I was doing a public investigation, which I hate doing public investigations, but it was one, you know, it was like $30 a ticket.
Yeah.
I wanted to go check out this Rolling Hills down in East Bethany, which I could go on for days about the farcical things that go on there. But anyway, so there was about, I'm going to say 20 teams there. And it was hilarious. So we're all out in the parking lot waiting to be let into the building. And there's guys out there, and they've got their big fisherman's jacket with all their tools hanging out of it.
Oh my God.
You know, and you've got guys with cases upon cases upon cases of stuff. To me, this was a public investigation. You're not down there collecting evidence for anything much. You're really just kind of experiencing it. So I had a camera bag.
Yeah.
For the four of us, I had a camera bag. A little camera bag. Yep, that's us. Right? And watching these people size themselves up. You know, walking around the... Dude, it was like you were going to get into a UFC fight. Everybody's walking up and down the parking lot, staring each other down. You know, what equipment do you have? All this kind of stuff. It's really fun. So this is kind of like really the competition aspect of it. It's not so hard for us. I mean, I'm very fortunate that CHAPS has made enough of a footprint that, you know, we're not all that worried about other teams and what they can do. Dude, there could be a team in Whitby, a team in Bowmanville. We're in Oshawa, by the way. And then as long as they're good teams, shit, I don't care. They're not going to ruin anybody's reputation. So I'll collaborate with anybody. And I go online and talk to all these teams, right? There are teams out there that do a lot to hurt reputations. They break into places, or they go, you know, they trespass, and that kind of person or that kind of team, that's the ones that I go after myself, or the teams that charge money. Other than that, it's fair game. All right. The snobbery out there is hilarious. I mean, if you happen to be on a video one time and they see you using a Ouija board, all of a sudden, holy hell, that team is now the worst team in the entire country, and I'm going to hop online and I'm going to destroy everything they do. All right? I'm going to wreck all their fun and let everybody know that they're terrible. And I won't work with them, nor will I talk to them. All right, well, lots of teams talk to me. Do you know that we've used a Ouija board on an investigation? It was on request by the client, and they happened to have one, and we thought,
Why not?
well, the hell not, you know, we're here. Guess what happened? Nothing. Zero. Nothing happened then. And you know what? I didn't bring a demon home. I didn't get possessed. Ouija board is a board game made by Parker Brothers.
Yep.
I know that there was an old Ouija board, but I mean, it's a Ouija board. That's all it is, right? It's just a Ouija board. So, I will work with other teams. I bet you that CHAPS has worked with 30 teams across the United States and Canada. Some of these teams I've worked with, I've come out and went, okay, won't work with them again. Other teams I do work with again. And some of those teams that we work with on a few different times are teams that are getting slagged by other people.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know, this is the way when I was in the martial arts. You know, I used to work with a teacher down in Pennsylvania who used to get slammed a lot by a lot of other schools, but nobody had ever actually trained with the guy to know what he was about.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? The guy was really damn good. Okay, so you had to actually physically do that, and that's why if teams are maybe not so good, I will I'll go out and work with them
Yeah.
just to see for myself, right? Even if it's to keep your enemies close.
Sneaky.
I'm sneaky like that.
So sneaky.
Can somebody make a comment on the board and tell me if things are working here? Because I think it's telling me that my chat's disconnected. one. So I'm going to say hello. Well, no, it's there. Well, it says it's working. Okay. There it goes. So anyways, somebody chat with me here, just so I know that I'm actually talking to people. Otherwise, all I'm doing is I'm just talking. So, going into the way things go with other teams. All right, so the whole snobbery, you got teams out there that seem to think that they're better than everybody. This is humorous. The reason why they should stop kidding themselves, because what we're doing is a hobby science that is, again, looked at by the science community as a raving joke. All right. Now, mind you, what we do is not new. Harry Price was doing this in the 40s, a long time ago, which kind of gets me into the next thing when we go into methodologies. First off, I want those teams to get stuffed and stop worrying about yourself. If you don't want to deal with a person because of their affiliation with other teams, that's also a little strange.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, like there are people out there that don't care for TAPS very much. I am a TAPS affiliated team. We are part of the family. I don't agree with every single thing they do, nor do I agree with the show. I just don't care. There are some people I like that are involved with it. Going into methodologies, I guess that can somewhat affect whether you want to work with another team or not.
Oh,
But to be a snob on it, there's no sense in being a snob. I'll tell you what, there are teams we've worked at. I consider what CHAPS does is a pragmatic science. We follow Occam's razor. All right? I mean, the whole idea is that, let's try to make it as simplistic as I can. Let's kind of have a logical explanation. If I need to get more scientific, then I'll contact those people that are smarter than me, which are many. But you know what? Like our team, we generally ask questions. I believe in testing out new equipment, which I'm sure is going to get me some hellfire soon. But really, if you take a look at our kit, it's quite very much based on audio, video for documentation, some electrical instrumentation in order to diagnose and debunk, and a camera. And that's really it. We do have a few other things that we try. So our methodology is to keep things simple and pragmatic, while at the same time kind of playing with things.
Yeah.
You know what? Like when somebody would say that, smoke. I'll tell you what. I don't have a picture of it because I don't have to put a picture up of smoke. It's what it looks. It's smoke. It billows.
Background
It's like a cloud. We've experimented with that where, we've had a smoke net and put laser lights through it and see if something would show up. Did it once or twice. Yeah, didn't work all that well. We got kind of choked up. We've used strobe. Take pictures during strobe and video during strobe. In the end, I think that just got all of us really sick.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I was like ready to barf, man. It was just sit in a room for half an hour on strobe light. So
don't do it.
don't do it. Well, no, do it, and then message me and let me know.
Yeah.
So that's one method, but see, things like that got certain people on us. Like, why would you do this?
Why not?
Well, why not? I'm not saying this is a primary tool. I'm not walking around. Okay, I'll tell you what. There are things that I kind of disagree with, and there are things that we use that I disagree with if used improperly. Like divoning rods. I don't get it. They're used to find sources of water. Why they work, I haven't a clue. But if I see a team that's got a pendulum, divoning rods, and they're doing the flashlight test.
It's like the trifecta.
Yeah, that is the definite Kentucky sweepstakes of really shitty paranormal investigation. And that's, I guess what I say in short form, the kids do. I'm ho.
What?
I am ho, in my honest opinion. Isn't that what that means?
Oh.
Now, see, I knew that. You're like 24 years
I
old.
know.
You should have known
I'm
that.
not hip with the kids.
Okay.
I don't know what kids are doing.
All right. See, I am. So,
Do you still-
yeah, I just did that. Shut up. So as it comes, these are things that we understand are dumb beyond the dumb, right? But I also wouldn't be bothered by somebody on my team saying, "I'm going to bring some divoning rods tonight, and let me see what happens if we were getting results of that.
Yes, try
Look,
it.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying it out, but I mean, if this is your primary source of investigation, even I'm a bit snobbish about that. Methodologies, you get a lot of teams that they get mad at each other because we've worked with teams where can't use flashlights, like not even going from room to room. That's a little dangerous to me.
Oh my God.
Some
I'll be
people,
on the ground.
some of the places we go, yeah. You know what? You got to use a flashlight to go somewhere. We generally turn off the flashlights when we're there. I don't like the flashlights when we're stationary, but it happens. People get annoyed. Why can't you investigate in the daytime? You can. We have many times investigated during the daytime. It's just
The first part of our investigation at Mansfield
was during the day,
the
6
day.
o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about my eyes, guys. I'm just
Should be.
scratching like crazy. But it seems like any team out there wants to watch your video and go, why are you doing this? And then the other half of it is they're mad that you're making a video because they think you're just trying to make like a buck or something. I've had 35 producers contact me. I have no interest in going on a TV show. Certainly not now. I make videos and have had made videos for a decade now. Why? Because I'm selfish. I like to watch myself. Actually, I've hardly ever watched our videos, but you know what I mean? I play them, right? Nothing wrong with playing them. Other teams will get annoyed if you're using other than the very, very basic modicum of tools. Okay, well, you know what? You're all using digital recorders. If you were going to go really basic, you'd be using analog. You're using tapes. If we'd be talking about using experimental gear, let's go back into time. Harry Price was using a ticker tape machine.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess he was just experimenting to see what would happen if it would ticker off when things were near.
Yeah.
But back then, of course, they would have thought he was a nut job, right? I think where it comes to gear, it's what's really important is that we've got to see whether they actually have. Well, we got to find out why. That's the issue. You know, we've had teams that talk a lot. I don't know if you've noticed. I talk a lot. So they don't want you to ask questions. Well, you can't ask questions. All you got to do is just converse. 100% agree. You got to go out there and do your mandated questions.
Yeah.
But most of the time we get EVPs, it's just when the team's sitting around shooting shit, you know, and that's when all of a sudden they're like, well, if it's spirit, maybe if it's there, you know, I'm comfortable. I'm just going to jump in on this conversation.
Yeah.
The problem with that, though, sometimes is you sometimes have to filter that in and out because conversation gets yappy and people get going. It's important that you're taping everybody so that you don't get that odd voice in the background. And then other teams, they think the only way to do an investigation is to show up and sit there and shut up.
It's so boring.
Well, that is boring. But, okay, so let's say I'm a spirit. I'm not.
Yeah.
Let's say I am. Well, not yet. Well, why the hell would I want to talk?
I know.
I mean, you're just there.
Come
Why
and sit
don't-
in your house.
I'm going to come sit in my house, and that's boring.
I'm going to start with my life story
Right.
while you're all quiet here.
So maybe that doesn't work either, right? But this is all, again, about methodologies. Some groups like to go in with like 10 people, 10, 15 people. I would hazard to guess that's too much, but maybe it's life energy. I don't know. And some people are very soul and by themselves. So understand, there's 100 different ways. Like people have mediums, some people don't. We don't. Some people have demonologists. Some people have priests. I have enough contact with priests that if I need to bring in a priest, I can call a priest, right? But my team, we don't do that. Some teams, you know, I'll shout out to CPRI down in Virginia. They're like really data. You know, they've got data loggers all over the building, right? About your barometric pressure and your all that other crap. And I just would have. I mean, they're doing something with it. But these guys are scientists. One's a chemist, one's an electrical engineer. So I'll give them that. I wouldn't have the foggiest clue, and there's nothing wrong with being honest. Integrity and honesty is huge. I'm not going to say that, look, in your home, you do realize that it went up 4 kilopascals.
Whoa.
Right. But they're doing it where everything is time dated, so that, say, like, whenever there's an EVP, you know, if the hygrometer is showing a certain humidity gain and all that crap, well,
They can put it all
They
together.
can put it all together and
tell
create
you
a
what
trend,
it might
right?
mean.
I just don't know what to do with that information. And honestly, most clients we have, if we're doing a home, don't want us back. They don't care. If I had said to them, oh, you know that the humidity happened when the CVP happened. Oh, yeah. They wouldn't know either. So I'm the first one to say I'm not scientific enough to know what to do with that information. And that's okay. Honesty is a big deal, right? So that being said, teams are teams. As long as you are doing things without ruining public reputation, hurting people, charging money, then look, anything's fair game. I've worked with teams. Oh, some of them I don't like their way of doing things. And people that I really, really like, I could say I don't really like the way they do things.
Yeah, of course.
But who the hell am I? I'm doing the way I want to do it. Who says I'm right? That's right. I could completely suck at what I do, and probably do. All right, so we're gonna get into gear, and some of the gear that I'm gonna bring up here.
We're gonna physically get into gear.
We're gonna get into the gear. I'm gonna pull out a REM pod and step inside it and see if I can set it off. So nobody's responded here yet. So I'm guessing that the chat function isn't working. But it says I say hello. This isn't. I think it's not working. Maybe I'm not even out there. Sandy, text me and tell me if this is working. All right, so we're going to get into gear now. So when it comes into gear, believe it or not, this actually creates quite a kerfuffle out there. I'm going to bring up the gear and I'm going to give my viewpoints on it, okay? All right, so now here we're going to go. We're going to go. Bloop. Now we're back up there again. Hi. Okay, and we're going to do a whole bunch of gear. So one of the first gear that I've been noticing people have been using as of late is, well, that's not where it's supposed to be, but it's called the EDI. This seems to be the new IT toy. I have problems with it. So it's a geophone, which measures like movement. If somebody walks across the ground, it would go off. EMF, so the electrical magnetic, you know. Oh, wait. We're all chatting.
Oh.
So Sandy, I can't see anybody chatting. Oh, hold on. You said hello. Yes, I did. Look, I'm talking to my wife via text. All right, Sandy, has anybody responded to my hello? The EDI. Okay, so it's got EMF, electromagnetic frequency. So it tells like it's your electrical fields. It does temperature, basic. It also has a hygrometer to do the humidity levels and a barometer, and it tracks it all on a SD card, which I think is cool and dandy. Problem with, again, is I think the problem with teams having this, I know CHAPS has one, I saw them using it, is I'm not necessarily sure anybody knows what to do with half that information.
No.
Point two, when it comes to this, I see a lot of people carrying it around. So I don't know how the geophone would work with that, or the trend being recorded, because you're moving around a lot, right? Like, so, hold on. Okay, thank you, Sandy. Sandy, you type something. You know what? She's on her phone. That's got to be it. Nobody cares. So, if you're walking around, you're in a room, there's no, you can't denote a trend.
No, you need to set it.
I think it would have to be set somewhere of activity and stay there the night. Now, let's understand something. If that's in the room with people, the barometric pressure is going to go up.
Oh, for sure.
And so is the humidity.
Yep.
Because you're all in there.
Yeah.
Right. So, I think it would have to be placed somewhere. To which case it might be. No, I don't see anything texted up there yet, Sandy. Sorry, you're lying. So I'm not necessarily sure if it's worth it. I've got a geophone. We've got EMF sensors.
Yes.
We've got thermal. So to have a hygrometer and a barometer, I don't know if it's $195 US. I don't know if I want to spend that money. So I don't know. You guys can leave that up to you. But I was thinking about it. So the next picture. Well, some of the other gear that people should think about here. The next one, what is? Okay, that's a REM pod. So a REM pod, which is really kind of a, I think, glorified EMF meter. This actually kind of worked
For you guys.
for us
Yeah.
in Mansfield. Now, a lot of people put this down, of course, because it's a new piece of gear. It's made for what we do, and anything that's made for what we do is no good. And a lot of people like our friend from down south would say that to do an investigation, the investigation needs to be catered exactly to the claims, right? So if the claims say don't include voices, you don't bring audio, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. To me, I just want my toys there. I want to experiment. And I'm okay with like say using this and seeing what happens. Now, if it goes off, let's find out why.
Yeah.
Same thing with an EMF. It's a barometer, but I got to be honest, it actually did have a pretty interesting result. It's a little like our proximity detectors, which have the same thing, except it's louder and more obnoxious, but it's portable. It's battery powered. So I'm thinking about purchasing one of these. Most teams out there seem to have one of these. The problem is it says REM pod paranormal research device on it, and that just sounds stupid. Yeah, I know, Sandy. It didn't come up.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason. Something I screwed up.
Can you disconnect the chat and reconnect it?
I don't know. It says chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you. So maybe
then it says please try again later.
So maybe YouTube just has a problem. If all you people are chatting to me, then I'm sorry. So let's get a different picture. FLIR. Everybody wants a FLIR. Here's a cute little picture. So one of the end things to get nowadays, because a FLIR video camera is about $3 billion, is to get the FLIR one for your phone, which is okay. I mean, it's consumer grade. But the problem is that too many people out there don't know how to read it.
Yeah.
We've shown in our one-on-ones in the past that everybody saw a picture of ours and went, that's paranormal. There's somebody standing behind, blah, blah, blah. Until we turned the picture on, and it was actually just a reflection of my wife on a very glossy surface, right? I see this a lot where they'll take the picture in the bathroom, and you'll see, why is there two people in there? Well, and that whether that's hot or cold, because there's a mirror there. Any glossy surface, metallic surface, whatever.
Reflects the heat.
Right. So it's a real picky sort of thing. I mean, like when we were at
That happened to us at Picton too. Remember, we took a picture with a FLIR, and we couldn't for the life of us figure out what it was until we went back the next time in the same spot, and that part of the wall was like
really glossy paint.
Yeah.
Oh, that was for about a month or two. That was a great picture.
Yeah.
What a disappointment when that was.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing worse than thinking you have proof, and then you don't. So, if you look into this picture here, I know some people go, well, that's an odd shape, and I've actually had somebody comment on it being the odd shape it is, and the heat, and there's cold hands going towards it. So it's a bunny rabbit. That's a picture of a bunny rabbit in the cage.
Aww.
Yeah, isn't he cute?
So cute.
I don't know. It's bunny poop and all kinds of stuff in there, little grains of that. What those arms are, I have no idea. Maybe, you know what? Maybe that is paranormal. Maybe that is two pairs of cold arms going
after.
after
I want to pet the bunny.
Well, that's what we're going to say it is.
Yeah.
All right. Sandy, redo that video, and let's just say that's what that is. All right. So, going into other bits of gear. All right. So, one of the new things that we've just picked up, yes, I know, everybody has seen this. I'm going to move that over there. Oh, I can't. Shit. Sorry. So, skeletal tracking system, digital mapping system, Connect. This is what the in thing is. Now, my cord is really out on this topic. Really out. I mean, like, I understand the skeletal mapping system when it comes to Connect on a live person makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. It's fair. It's what it is. Like, it's infrared sensors that pick up certain points of your body. It maps it out. And if I put the other picture up there, do that one here. You can see, this is basically what it does. It creates an array of beams throughout the room, and you dance like an idiot. Look at that.
from Paranormal Activity.
That is for Paranormal Activity. What an excellent grab on that, Sydney. How modern culture of you.
Wow. I was like, that picture looks really
I was looking
familiar.
online today and it just happened to catch my eye. I went, this will be good to expect. But now you've busted me. And now the people at Warner Brothers are going to be contacting me and suing my ass because of you.
I mean,
No, I'm going to get that off now. Nope.
yeah. Oh.
There it is. All right. So again, so we've got this now, and I know that there's going to be teams out there that are going to like lose their kittens on it. Oh my God, you're using something like this. Well, you're. I don't know what they're going to call me. They can call me whatever they want. But my core on this particular topic is, all right. You know what? I got the part built for $30, and I had a tablet.
Yeah.
I just want to see why it does or does not work, and I want to test it in ways I want to test it.
Yeah.
Because whenever I see it, it's always somebody standing there and somebody next to them, and I think it's a reflective surface that's maybe causing that. I want to like put it down a hallway where there's nobody. There's no heat, there's no electronics, there's no reflective surfaces,
And see what happens.
right? I mean, in places that we've had activity. I mean, it looks cool. I like it. I think a lot of people think it looks cool, but I think sometimes if they don't have something, they get mad about it. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Like, I'm doing a test. Like I was saying to you earlier, years and years ago when people came up with the idea of the cassette recorder, people thought it was ridiculous because, you know, you had vinyl.
Yeah.
Okay,
Why
well,
would you need this?
cassettes were huge for a long time, and they worked. So what I want to do is I kind of wanted to spell, okay, does this thing possibly actually work? Or why? Because it's made of an Xbox, that's why everybody loses their mind, because it's a toy, right? But
Yeah, but it has real science in it.
well, sure it does. I mean, otherwise it wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
detect your body.
Exactly.
So it is what it is. It's like
Worth a
using
shot.
it's like using a grid pen. You know, it's like that's kind of stupid, but who the hell knows? You might. And here's the thing: who says every spirit relays the same way?
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe somebody might show up on it. You know, so that's okay. We'll try that too. So I'm all over that. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but for $30 investment, what we're supposed to do in pragmatic science is try things. Right? We've got to try things and go, that works. I might not like it. I got to be honest with you. Like we tried the SB7, and a lot of people like they swear by this thing. I don't like it. We're in the city. Catches too much. There's too much possible contamination, I think. But I'd be willing to try it in the country again. We did that one time with Chris, and it seemed to have some results, but just not enough yet to convince me. And that's just my opinion. Somebody else might have a great opinion of it. The flashlight test. Okay, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Don't please.
That's just a poor connection.
Yeah, that's just arcing. I'll tell you what though, if you can actually click the flashlight,
That's impressive.
I'm impressed, and we'll do it again then. You know, there's all kinds of tests that exist that I don't care for very much. Much like smoke or all that, it didn't work. But we'll keep trying different things all the time, and it's okay to do that. And teams need to know that it's okay to do that. You just need to be kind of honest with how you're doing it at the time.
Yeah.
You know. So when I'm doing it, of course, I will have my disclosure on it because I don't want the entire paranormal world to all of a sudden discount CHAPS as a bunch of like lunatics and they're just trying to be what I have no idea. Anybody who knows me knows this is not the way it is. But all right, so what's next? Okay, so one of the other things that we've bought recently is a proximity detector. Ben Hansen from Pack and Bake put me onto this. I happened to see it one time on Paranormal Lockdown.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the show. You can see what it does. This thing is affected by movement around it, by the loss of light, IR, as well as electrical. So it's kind of like 5 meters in one. It's kind of nice because I can now set up my action cam, which doesn't have night vision, in a room with this. And you know, you set it up in a pathway, like a doorway. Every night I see this guy walking through the door. Well, I'll put it there and see what happens. This thing is uber sensitive. I might not necessarily suggest it to a lot of people because after the shipping costs, and that was like $550. You can get up to 8 panels to go together I don't see the reason for 8 panels. That's
Yeah.
fine. But really, this is like a K2 meter on acid. I'm really glad we got this thing.
Cool.
It's really cool. And like, you know, I mean, if you change the IR in the room, like if you TX off on your radio, it'll go. So anything electrical within 10 feet
Yeah.
will make this thing go off. So you got to be kind of careful where you set it.
And be aware of what's like
Absolutely.
you're using around you when you're.
The beta testing we did with this when we first got it was pretty intense because it had a lot of false positives.
Oh yeah.
We've got an investigation like, holy shit, what's happening? It's going off. We've got like 100 spirits, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, Sydney was with the camera, which has got
Yeah, you just move.
an IR. Hold on a sec. Well, she looks at you. Am I going to be able to find it?
Probably not.
Probably not. Ah, shut. Okay, so we'll say if you got one of these, right? So I can't even figure out where the camera is. So you can kind of see that. Look at that.
Cool.
Oh, look at that.
What the
I didn't
hell?
know that would happen.
That's weird.
Can you guys see that on the other side? Okay, so that's infrared. That was really neat. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah.
That will affect these panels. Sydney discovered that. She just kind of moved it up and went. And when they went off, we're like,
Yeah, and I was like, oh wait a
no, she's like, stop for a second. And then that happened, right? So, you know, I don't know if we've ever gotten a really great reaction with it yet. But damn it, they're cool looking.
Yeah.
They're actually meant for like under coffee tables or something. The company that we bought it from, we couldn't even tell them what we're doing with it, or they wouldn't sell it to us. It's like
Really?
yeah, it's a kids' educational toy company. And what it is it's an educational toy company that you know, they'll send your kid kits that they can weld, solder together.
Oh.
Yeah, so
okay.
teaching the kid about electronics.
Yeah.
And this right here is actually marketed to like go under glass tables. So when people put their mug on the table,
Like
it'll go off.
that.
It's basically funkadelic.
Ah.
But yeah, so Ben Hansen brought this to an investigation for Paranormal Lockdown. And I was like, this is crazy. I couldn't find it. I had to message Ben, and he told me where to get it. And he wasn't lying. He said they're expensive because if you think about it, they used 8 of them on that show.
Oh my
Woo!
God.
So that probably would have been a lot. Now that's where the American exchange comes in, by the way. Last weekend I took my daughter to Gettysburg for a grad trip. Really cool, great, awesome. My wife was in the battlefields of Gettysburg. This is where I started investigation 24 years ago. She thought she saw something coming out of the forest, which was her first experience. She's been investigating now for like 9 years, and that was her first experience ever. But let me tell you something. These cost me $550. Do you know why? A damn American dollar.
Exchange rate.
I stayed at like a Motel 6, and it was like almost $200 for the night.
Ah.
It was almost $1,000 for hotels for a couple days. So I'd like to say I'm not going back to the States, but since I'm going back in September,
Yep.
and I'm going back in October. In September, we're investigating Ashmore. I'm going to talk about that a bit more on the next podcast. And my wife and I are going to New Orleans. Sorry, they can't say it that way. They get mad. New Orleans.
No.
New Orleans. And we're going to work with Kevin Betzer from Deep South Paranormal. We're at least going to get together with him, see what occurs, and take it from there. It'll be pretty awesome. So coming up for us, I'm going to close out that panel video. There's no need for that. And we're going to go back to the podcast. Hi again.
Oh, hello.
So things have been pretty good. It's been a bloody hot week. I hope tonight I discussed things enough. Again, on the next show, I think we're going to talk a bit about the upcoming trips. Maybe about some of the exercises we're going to do when we're down there. Sydney, unfortunately, won't be joining us on this trip. Kind of upset and mad about that.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm trying to be a better person.
Sydney has decided to go to college.
It's about damn time.
Yeah, so she's going to be going to school and won't want to miss any time.
Paid enough for it.
Yeah. So that's going to be a great trip. Ashmore's going to be fantastic. But I want to discuss a bit about some of the experiments we're going to do down there and the people that are going down there and some pictures from Ashmore. Now that I've learned how to upload the pictures to this, yeah, I'm pretty good. Shit,
Snazzy.
it almost didn't have any screw-ups at all.
Almost.
Now I got to find out, of course, if the audio is still working on the intro and outro. Is it outro?
Yeah.
Outro, proper way of saying it? You mocked me. You know what's good? We've had a nice consistent run now where we generally end up with half a dozen to a dozen people watching every podcast. I really appreciate that. You know what? Every couple of weeks, I know I was saying every 2 weeks, but maybe this might go, I might do 1 week or I might do 3 weeks. I could do 5, depends on topic matter, because I want to make sure it's at least interesting for you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nobody could text in tonight, or I guess you're not texting in, are you? You're typing.
You call into
You're
our
calling
hotline.
to our hotline. We do Skype, but nobody utilizes it, so I don't bother. But our live chat seems to be messed up, so I'm really sorry if
Messed up for us.
anybody
Everybody
had
else
any
seems to be
questions.
okay.
So basically, you've just got us making up stuff to talk about. I'm headed up to Ottawa tomorrow, so be out of town for a couple days. It's going to be good. I'm going to go see my team up there, and they just finished an investigation of the Lasso Saloon, which is online. You can go on to CHAPS Paranormal, look up CHAPS Paranormal at YouTube, and you will see our videos. And the 2 latest videos, which was the Niagara investigation and the Lasso investigation in Pembroke. Neither investigation yielded any results, but hey, look, you want to watch them, you want to watch them. We're supportive of that. Mansfield is coming up on there. I'm going to try and book a couple 101s for the fall and go talk to some people if they want the training. That's a little hard in this area because there are other teams that generally lock on.
Yeah, latch on to places.
I know I'm worried about getting a lot set up for October, besides the fact that I'm going on my anniversary trip there, but the CBC and Ryerson University are working with us on filming a couple of episodes or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know details a lot. All I know is they said, look, we'll find you the places to investigate, and we'll film it. You just got to be there.
What?
Hey, right on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's I'm okay with that being on a little thing or two. But I want to do some talks, maybe throughout the summer, maybe too.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. Like, everybody seems to be into the paranormal in October. They're never really into it now, because I think they're at the cottage. But I think I'm possibly as charming as the cottage. All right, so guys, have an excellent night. I hope you enjoyed this. Please, when the video comes up and it's on YouTube, share the hell out of it if you possibly can, and be well, behave, get yourself out of trouble, send me money.
Me too.
Yeah, I like money. Money's good.
I like cookies. And food items.
Goodbye.
These walls can talk. Open your mind and listen.
Trail